What's up guys, my name is Chris, or TaintedCatalyst, and today I'm bringing you a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. I did upload one yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I know I'm supposed to be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that will be the plan. However, on Monday something was wrong with my internet, and also after I was like trying to upload everything, it wouldn't work. I found out that there's something wrong with YouTube's uploading at that time anyway, so it probably wouldn't have worked even if my internet wasn't being all poop. This battle is against Sardiini777. I found him on Smogon. I'm not sure if he has a YouTube page, so there is not a link in the description for this one. So I'm just going to go straight into the battle. Sorry, one other thing. I know I've just said I'll start the game, but this is a second recording. Sorry. Anyway, most of you know me to be new to competitive battling, and that will definitely show in this game. Yeah, I make a lot of mistakes, basically. This team that I'm using now, I've never used before, which is pretty much the same every match. I do want to find a team that I can use for a little bit and then kind of switch it up. But until then, it will be me kind of testing out teams. I'm not going to upload a video, obviously, where I'm completely destroyed. That would be pointless. This one's a very close game. It was a lot of fun to play it, even though I made a lot of mistakes. And these intros, I'm so sorry. I know they're getting really long. And I said in that first video that would probably be the only longest one. And now I'm rambling, so I'm just going to go straight into the game now. Okay. I just recorded this one time before, and one of the sections of it wasn't sped up or anything. It was all weird, and so I had to redo it now, which sucks. Anyway, he sends out Regirock, and I send out my Crobat, and I go for the U-turns. It's normally be quicker, and I kind of expected him to Rock Slide or Stone Edge, and then obviously I can switch into my Slowking, which can take it fairly well. And at this point I was expecting him to switch, and so I go for the Fire Blast, because, well, I thought he'd switch expecting the Scald, and then I kind of thought he'd switch into Tangrowth, and so obviously Fire Blast hitting his Tangrowth would have been amazing, especially as an early game prediction. Unfortunately, he stays in. I'm not really sure why, but I know now obviously I have to switch because he can finish me off with either of the two moves that we've just seen from him. And so I switch into my Lantern, and he goes for the Body Slam. He sent me a message on Smogon afterwards, kind of explaining he felt like unlucky. I'll explain more about how he was unlucky later on, but he was trying to get Power Hacks, and he does that a couple of times. He doesn't get the Power Hacks once, which is good for me, obviously, but bad for him. And so I go for the Ice Beam, again, predicting him to switch, because I thought he would see this and think, oh, a Surf's going to come, or something of that nature, which would just finish him off in one hit, and switch into his Tangrowth. Again, he doesn't, and so I go for the Ice Beam. I don't actually carry any water moves on this Lantern. But anyway, I don't think I mentioned, I got the burn. As you can see, obviously, I got the burn on him with the Fire Blast, which was pretty lucky. Anyway, so I just keep Ice Beaming just to finish it off, because I know that Ice Beam is actually a pretty good move against his team, because he's got Tangrowth and Nidoking, which are both weak to the Ice move. And obviously, Milotic, I can just go for a Discharge. He goes now for Nidoking, and I kind of thought that I would be able to survive one hit. I didn't. This is, like I said at the start, I'm kind of new to it, don't really know a lot of things, especially movesets and stuff. I didn't know Nidoking could be a very good, special attacker, and so I thought it was a physical attacker, and I thought I could take one EQ. Unfortunately, I died because I don't have any special, not special, I don't have any physical bulk, other than its natural bulk, obviously. So I switch into Slowking. Sorry, I just rambled, probably didn't make much sense, and he goes for his Milotic, and I switch, probably because I know there's not much I can do to it, but I also didn't think there was much that he could do to me. Which I was right. I mean, he Toxics me, and that's not too big of a deal. I am a Life Orb set, so it's going to be a lot of damage at the end of each turn, obviously, but if I can just start doing as much damage as possible, then that'd be good. Anyway, so he switches to Nidoking, and I kind of predicted a switch to something other than Milotic, so I go for the Energy Ball, which does roughly about half, and I think I'm quicker at this point, and it turns out I'm not, and he goes for the Flamethrower, which again, I didn't know he could carry, and I knew I was going to die as soon as he did it. So that just takes down my Galvantula, which sucks because that was my biggest threat from Milotic. Now again, I play it really obvious, and I go for the Icicle Crash, or Icicle Drop, or Icicle Throw. I don't really know what the English name is, that's why I apologise. And he switches to his Victini, which was probably pretty obvious, and then he goes for the V-Create, which I expected, and I switched to my Slowking, and this thing is just insanely powerful. It does around half of my HP, just a bit under half. I'm fully invested in Special Defense. Slowking's bulky anyway, and I resist it, and it still does nearly half damage to me, and I'm like, wow. But then he has a White Herb to negate the effect drops, and he goes for the Cross Thunder. Not sure what the English name is. I didn't know he had this or anything, and it leaves me on 5 HP. I was so lucky to survive. And I get the Slack Off on because I thought he was going to switch, because I thought it's possibly maybe Spexed. And then this turn he switches, and for some reason, I don't know why, I stay in and go for the boiling water. I think maybe I thought I could survive one more hit. Doesn't do anything to the Milotic. It does burn it, which actually probably isn't that good, really, if you consider it having a marble scale. Now it's got a 50% increase to its defenses. So that kind of sucks. And especially I didn't know if this thing was rest or recover, and if it's rest, obviously it's just going to get rid of the burn, and if it's recover, then it's just going to be able to sit there and wall me all day. And for some reason I switch into my Celipede. I finally learned the name of it. I'm pretty sure it's Celipede anyway. It's probably not going to be Celipede now that I've said that, but I just want to get some entry hazards up, because he's not switching around too much, but when he does switch around, I want it to take damage, you know. And this thing, at this point, I'm not thinking is very useful to me. And I'm able to survive the second surf, and that means I can get my second layer of spikes up, which is good. I didn't want to go for the toxic spikes because the Nidoking is a poison ground type, and I'm not really sure on the rules of what can absorb the toxic spikes, but I thought if it can, then obviously he might just switch to it and they'll be completely useless and nothing will get poisoned. And he finishes me off with a surf, and I also didn't really want to switch anything into this surf. And so I send out my, I think it's Slowking now? No, Crobat. Oh, that's right. I sent out Crobat because I was thinking to myself, okay, all I got to do is just Super Fang this thing down and then get it low enough health that I can U-turn. And he goes for the recover, which is fine because I do carry the taunt, and so I can stop it healing up while I Super Fang it. And I was kind of not really too worried about using Super Fang because obviously it's just going to do half of whatever, even if he switches, it's going to take half its health. And a lot, not a lot, but a couple of these things are weak to U-turn, and I'm pretty sure that I'm quicker than probably everything. Maybe Azelf is quicker than me. I think it may have been Choice Scarfed. I'm not really positive, but he's just surfing away, and it's not doing too much damage to me. I'm not really too worried about it. I think that I can actually kill it, and then I'm just hoping that his taunt doesn't wear off before it comes, because then obviously he'll do more damage to me and he can finish me off before I can kill it. And at this point it does actually wear off, but I'm fairly confident that after this burn my U-turn will be able to take him down. Yeah, I was pretty confident here. I would have been very surprised if it didn't. And so it kills it, which is good for me because my Milotic could have walled a lot of my stuff because my Lantern was gone and my Galvantula, and they are the only things that had moves that were super effective against it. So he sends out his Tangrowth, and this is where he said that he got unlucky. He carries, I'm not really sure what the... Oh no, this isn't the unlucky part. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. But anyway, he carries the item that increases your accuracy. I'm not sure what it's called. But I stay in because I don't know why I stayed in. Again, this is just me being silly. I'm not really sure why I stayed in. Probably just trying to get rid of this sleep because I didn't want this thing to have something later on. And I do wake up this turn and go for the Fire Blast, which misses. If I had gone for the Scald, which would have been a bit of a strange move anyway to go against a Tangrowth, but I would have taken it out right there. And so I go for the Fire Blast, which misses, and now I have to switch because I don't want to take a Cross Thunder, because I know I'll probably die. So this 30% increase to my health will be nice, and obviously getting rid of the Leech Seed is also very good. And so this turn I go for Mamoswine, and I kind of thought maybe I could survive one V-Create. I don't know why I thought I could, because after I looked at it, I think it's 180 base power, which is just insane. It's like 270 attack with stab, so yeah, there was no way I was going to survive that. So now I'm down, this is my last Pokemon, I go down to Slowking, and he uses the Cross Thunder, and I go for the Scald on this turn, which does quite a bit of damage to it. Oh, it kills it. It takes it down. Sorry, yeah. I was looking at my own thing. It does quite a lot of damage with the Cross Thunder, even though it had I'm pretty sure it had a special attack drop. I'm not really sure what V-Create drops. And then he goes to Tangrowth, and this is where he gets unlucky. He goes for the Sleep Powder as I go for the Slack Off, because I was hoping if he misses it and then puts me to sleep on the next turn, then I'll at least be at full HP. And at this point I wasn't really expecting to win, to be honest. I had one Pokemon left and he still has 4 Pokemon left. And he goes for Sleep Powder again and misses again. So 2 misses in a row. I know it doesn't have 100% accuracy, but with his increase of accuracy, it was pretty bad. And then also, I get a critical hit. Now this probably mattered because I know that Tangrowth is extremely bulky. I know it's super effective, but it's not stab, and I have no special attack EVs. Possibly, well, I don't know. I don't think I do. And he goes for the T-Ball, and I saw this, and I wasn't worried about it after I saw him use it because I knew I'd be able to take it fairly well. And so Slowking is just doing work right here. He is an absolute star. This is probably going to be not a main addition to every team that I use, but it'll be one I'm going to keep in for a while. So he sends out his elf, which he goes for the Shadow Ball with, which does a fair bit of damage, around a third, and I just slack off because I was not really sure if he'd kill me or not, and so I didn't want to be left on barely any HP and then, you know, scold and do no damage. So I go for the slack off, which puts my health right back up, and he goes for the Shadow Ball again, and this turn he gets the Spec D drop, and I was so annoyed. I go for the Boiling Water, don't get the burn, but it does just under half of his HP. And he goes to a Shadow Ball again, which I figured I could live one more, which I am able to. And this is what I was saying before, he may be Choice Scarfed on this one. And I go for the Boiling Water again, and I was hoping for a critical hit or for the burn, and it would have killed him. And unfortunately, I don't get it, and he Shadow Balls me for the win. So that was a very good game, Sardiini777. If you ever see this, I would love to play you again at some point. Yeah, not really much else to say. If you liked the video, be sure to rate it, comment, subscribe, leave me some feedback on everything. I'm really looking to improve, you know, my game and get better at competitive Pokemon battling. And again, I'm really sorry for this long outro. I'm always doing these long intros and outros. I probably shouldn't have promised you in the first video a shorter, you know, set of intros from then on, because that clearly won't happen. Anyway, again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday.